Hi everybody, it's Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art, and I'm back for part 2 of the Heartfelt Creations album tutorial. If you want any of the items that you see that are Heartfelt Creations, www.huckleberryherbs.zippit.com. A lot of these items might be on pre-order, but I'll get them to you ASAP. Books themselves, which are great. If you didn't see it, you should go back and watch the unboxing, because these mini albums are super duper. The pockets and flip folds or inserts, which come in craft, black or white, and A, B, C, D for each. So I am going to be making this album using Raindrops on Roses collection. There is a close-up on my playlist for Heartfelt Creations. It's a gorgeous pad. It has a bit of shabby vintage to it. And again, if you'd like to see this up close as far as individual pages, then go back and watch that video. For now, I have chosen what I want to do. Okay, my plan is to use this page as basically the first page. I've also decided to use the A inserts, and I'm going to use these two, this one and this cute little pocket here, to get started. So I'm going to start with cutting this shape out of the paper and seeing how much I have to put underneath on this side, and what I will need to do to get a corner of the roses on the top right over here, and what I want for this. So I'll have to cut all these and get them ready for you. I have already, and I'll show you this when I do the other side, but I've already used my bone folder to make sure that I have both of the sides, both of the edges folded over nicely. And I've also decided that I will try right away using some magnets. I had these kind, which love seeing that. I was taught to pay attention to that. Made in the USA. These look too thick to me. And I had these square ones, which again look too thick. From the same company, I have this roll, which is pretty thin. Probably not the strongest magnet, but won't bulge out my paper as much. And as a last resort, I have my business cards. So I've decided to go with the roll, and I'm using my Dries Clear. Love it. I have the sticky on the magnet already, but I'm going to put a few drops of the glue on as well, just to be sure that this stays. So I'm going to place this. Let me see how far down this goes, because I really don't want to put it right on the edge, as it will cause a little bit of a problem for both the magnet on both sides. And I just shoved my hand down on the sticky part here. Alright, so let's just that magnet go where it wants to, and then some glue on this one. Alright, and I'm going to put this under something with a little bit of weight on it for a few minutes. I'm going to start with something very simple. I'm scared to start, actually. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get this glued down, and I do want my glue to go right to the edges and make sure that it doesn't come up on the sides. Alright, so once I get the edges, I'll come in. Love this Raindrops on Roses paper. It's really my fave. I love the Coffee Talk that's recently out. I definitely think I'm gonna, when I do, see, you're already planning the next thing, right? I definitely want to play with the grapes and the grapevines. And there's a little edge right here that I'm going to cover with that extra binding that's like the Band-Aid material. And I have chosen to be more like a 1/16 of an inch, if even that. But here we have this, and again, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to cover it up. Just want to make sure that paper's down because we have a little bit of a ridge right here. Make sure it's down nice and strong. Okay. Whew. First paper. There it is. And the pockets on the first page, or the inside of the first page. So I'm going to call this page 1. And when I move on, part 3 will be pages 2 and 3. Okay, and this stuff dries so fast that even just this amount of time, it's already creating little ridges. Again, I said I really created only, and these are all things you want to think about ahead of time, a 1/16 of an inch around the edges. And I really prefer to use this glue. It doesn't soak the paper and bunch it up, but it gives me the wiggle room I need. So I'm not going quite to the edge of the paper. Let me just make sure everything worked out over here. Okay, there we go. It's down. Gorgeous. Love the colors. Right to the corners. Alright, there we go. There's this pocket which is going on the inside flap, and I'm going to show you that although these come pre-scored, it's good to take a bone folder and just go down the edges and make sure that the score is really well pressed. You don't need it bunching up and curling like this when you're trying to put it into the book. There we go. And then this side. So these are so fun. I would not have gotten this far even if I had cut all these pieces myself, measured and cut. And I'd already be frustrated most likely. So I like making them from scratch, but I really like the fact that I can just get to it. Okay, so that's been properly scored. Now I'm going to flatten it out a little bit again so that I can work on this before I put it in. So I have cut the piece of paper that I want to decorate this with. And one of the things I love about the Raindrops on Roses paper, and yes, I know it's a little bit older, and as I said, I will be doing projects with the other new papers, but I really wanted to have a book with this paper because it's my favorite. The windows, and I have the stamp for the windows, but the way that they're done, look at how beautifully they colored in, and they're all set to go just like the albums, so why not use that? But I did decide to take my knife and go around the window, down the center, across the top and the bottom, and I actually went across the top there too, so that I could create a little window that you can open. But of course, if you open it, you don't want to see the craft paper. So I've also cut a square, which I think, yeah, that's the way the script goes. Then I'm going to place inside right here so that when you open the window, you see it. And I think I'm just going to put a quick pencil mark right there. I'm just going to put some glue on the edges here. And this is going underneath. So it took me a little time to pre-cut all the pieces and think ahead what I wanted to do. And as I mentioned, I think in the last video, I had to decide what I was going to do with the second and third page, just in case it was going to overlap onto this page. And I just want to be somewhat sure that when I place that, I have covered the whole area. And now I can take this piece and glue that on. And again, I'm going to be a little thoughtful in where I place the glue near the window, because I want to be able to slide a picture if so desired. So although I'm going to seal it down around the edges, I want to leave a little bit of space so that there's some tucking in room. And there's that cut right there to slide the picture in. So I'm going to go up here to make sure it's sealed well, and just leave a little bit here. I don't want the picture to fall down, but I don't want it to not be able to tuck under the front there. Okay, so just about ready to put this one down, and I'll put that right on the top. And I'm going right to the edge here because I'm going to be covering the edge anyway, and so I'm going to leave my approximately 1/16 of an inch down here. And again, with this glue, I get a little bit of wiggle room, just enough to make me, and I want to make sure that's flat so it doesn't curl. There we go. All right, now that piece is ready. So cute. Here you go. And I think I'm going to come back, and I don't know if I'll put brackets in here or just little holes in ribbon, but something cute to close the window. And now I think I can go back to working on my pocket. Let's see how the pocket is doing with the magnets. Good. Yeah, and it's got the click. I think the first thing is the inside here. So I just went around with a pencil on the paper, decided where I want it to go. Now there was a lot to consider on the edges too, which I'll get to in a moment. In regards to, did I want to ink the edges of the craft paper? Did I want my designer papers there to go along? My hands are so not working with me well today. Did I want them to flap over the side and cover the edges? And I decided again not to worry about any of these things because the craft paper actually goes quite well, the color of it, with the color of the papers I've chosen. And I suppose if you were working in lime green paper and you had hot pink as your structure paper, that you would have to consider wrapping your paper around the edges or inking the edges. But this just lends itself so well to the paper, the designer paper, the Heartfelt Creations paper, that I'm not going to worry about that. Look. Yeah, see, it's going slightly wonky. But again, I think I will cut the brown paper that I'm seeing on the edges right here off, because on the front, it's going to be covered up. When you look inside, I don't want to see the craft paper, because I don't think I'm going to be putting anything in there. Such an adventure. Alright, again, hold that down until it takes. And I see a little spot right here. I'm just going to trim that. Make it work for you. Seems like it needs more magnet. So after much fussing with the magnet, I actually put on a larger piece down here, hoping I could get a better stick. We'll see. I may come back and do something else for the closure for this one. Okay, so the next part that I'm going to put paper on is right here. I've cut the piece so that it goes over fairly well. It might actually be wise to put the glue on here if I'm going to do that, so that it's not on the bend quite yet. There we go. I think I will glue it here on the chipboard. But I'm also gonna, and again, this part's gonna be in the back. That's why it's not even cut straight. It won't really matter. Sorry. Okay. that over the edge. And I am making sure my flap is down, but I want to open it as well and see what's going on. Alright, here's that part. I can now glue the cover on, which I have cut right here. Glue on. And we are going to have a lump where that magnet is. Alright. Again, I get a little bit of wiggle room. I'm only looking for barely a 1/16 of an inch on the cover of this, if even that. I do want to move this up just a bit. And the paper is a natural fiber, so it will stretch to a certain degree for you, especially once it gets damp from the wood, the glue. Alright. Smooth this all down, and if this glue is so great, it's already holding. Wonderful. Not bad. Nice. Let me glue the pocket itself together now. Put some glue on this strip. And right down the edge. And push this over and seal it. Check the front. And then this one, again, bring it up so that that second score line is going to the edge, and then check the front. Alright, so I have the two pockets ready to put into the album. Okay. So I'm going to put this lace on, and I actually like to use Aleene's tacky glue when it comes to lace. And I'm just going to put it along the edge, not all the way down. And I hopefully have cut it at just the right length. I'm going to start it right at the edge of the paper. And you could use hot glue for this, but as I've said, I just prefer using the tacky glue, which, yes, some is coming through, but it will neaten up as it adheres. Okay, so I think that's about as far as my glue went. And I do want to make sure that the edge of the lace is right at the edge of the paper. It's definitely a spot where the eye will go. I need to get one of those rubber spatulas for gluing the silicones, because right now I'm doing that with my fingernail. And now I've flipped this over, and I'm going to put the glue on the second half, right along the edge, where the lace is a little bit thick because of the layers of thread. And again, just bring it down a little bit into the lace and start heading on down the curve. And that looks to be just about right. Just want to make sure it presses in both sides. So there it is. And I am doing which I think I'll lay that down that way. Cut to go along the edge here. And again, that's what I meant by I'm going to lose that scalloped edge anyway, or at least the sharp edges of it. And with this one, I'll put the glue all the way across. And I have a teeny bit of the glue in here. I'll just wipe that off. And there's the edge of our little tag book, a little pocket. So cute. I have one more piece to add in the center here. The gusset, as one of the viewers of my first video in this series reminded me. Make sure that's tucked in nicely. I just prefer to have, I like it when I see people who have done this with their albums, where they have covered the gussets with the matching paper. Alright, now we have to get this onto here. Glue this. And I'm going right to the edge with this. I'd rather have a little bit coming out the side over here than to have it coming off. Definitely want these to hold down. See if I can place this one first right on that edge. I actually want to do it this way. So I'm going in here. There we go. I feel better about being able to run my finger down there. And on this side, I want to try and put my finger in here and press. There we go. Plenty of room to put things in. Okay. And then we have this pocket, which I'm going to put on the opposite side. And again, right near the edge, I want to have plenty of glue along the top. When you go to open it, I don't want the tugging to cause a problem. And you're right. I'm really gluing this up because this is it doesn't have anything that it's holding on to the edge with except the glue, so it's not going around the corner or anything. And right to the edge of the paper, just like that. There we go. And if the magnet worked, that would be great, but that's okay. As I said, I may put something here, one of those little twirly things or something. Whatever those are called, maybe somebody will remind me. Again, no words. I have no words. Alright, so there is the first page. Oh, I do have to seal down the bottom here, don't I? Don't you think? Doesn't fall out. And I just want to take a damp cloth and wipe off the excess glue. No need to leave it there while it's still wet. Wipe it off. The paper can handle it. It's been wet before. It used to be a tree. So there is the finished first page. Now I'm going to be doing embellishments, and whether or not I come back and put more of the lace here, which I'm thinking would not be bad, huh? It'd be nice to have when you open it your first impression, and that is bothering me. So I will come back and figure out how I'm going to keep that pocket closed. Alright, but I learned a lot. I learned I need thicker magnets. I maneuvered the paper. Not too pleased with that edge right there, but that's okay. I might stick a flower there or something, right? And that is the first page and the inner side. I hope you like it, and I hope you're enjoying watching me fumble through this. And started off with fairly simple 2 pockets on the inside. I already love it because of this paper, and I'm having fun. Got to figure out what I want to put in my window and whether or not I'm going to tie that. That's all embellishment. That's all after. I just want to get the main papers and pockets put into the album. So we'll be doing pages 2 and 3 the next time. Alright everybody, again, if you would like any of these items, and no, I don't have that particular color lace. I do sell some lace in my Etsy shop, which has the same name, Huckleberry Herbs. But www.huckleberryherbs.zibbit.com if you would like any of the Heartfelt Creations things that you've seen. Till next time everybody, this is Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art. God bless.